Hello lettering friend, I'm Sarah from Ensign Insights. In this video, I'm going to show you my distress ink that I experimented with. I have never tried this before. Why did I get it? I don't know. I was at Michael's. I've just never tried it before, and so I got it. And of course, I had to get this cute little tin to go with it. I bought 12 of the 1-inch size. There's a bigger size as well. And the tin had 12 perfectly. So I had to have them organized like that without ever even trying them. I also got these little ink blender tools because I don't know how you're supposed to actually use this, but the ink blender tools were right next to it and I thought that's probably how you do it. So one reason I'm showing you my distress ink experience is because sometimes I get comments from people who are like, I will never be as good as you at hand lettering. And here's the thing, I still have far to go on my hand lettering journey, but also I've been doing it since 2016. So I've had a lot of practice, but this can show you that it's still okay to be a beginner. Even I am a beginner at many crafting projects and art projects. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not know what you're doing. Just explore. And if you like it, keep going with it. It's okay to be bad at something at first. It's also okay to be bad at something even if you've been doing it for years. If you love something, you don't have to be good at it to enjoy it. Your creativity is for you first, not for any social media, not for any business or money. It's for you first. When I first used these, I was a little surprised because there was no ink. So I tried stamping with the stamp onto the paper directly. Tried figuring out why wasn't it working. I sprayed water on it. That seemed to pull out the ink a lot more. And I realized that maybe the distress ink, the point is that it's distressed. So you're not getting a full-on ink blob. And that was kind of what I was trying to do. So I would spray water first and then add the ink onto the water. That seemed to pull out the ink a lot more. And I was trying to blend really well as if it was watercolor because that's what I know, my rainbow watercolor backgrounds. But I couldn't really quite get that effect. And so I decided I needed to watch some tutorials. And one of the things that I learned in my tutorials is the Velcro thing on these ink blenders can fit right in to the ink pad. And I love that. Perfect storage. So other things that I learned from some tutorials that I was watching, just a bunch of different things on YouTube. I think the paper does matter, and that's always a thing, even with hand lettering, but I just wanted it to work with my Archer and Olive. So I've got to use it how it's going to work in my Archer and Olive notebook. So it gives this kind of cloudy look. It's not a smooth blend, and it's definitely different from my very perfectly smooth watercolor rainbow blend, but I kind of like how this turned out. It's just a different look. Like I said before, it was kind of fun to just be bad at something and just experiment and play and not know what I'm doing, but see what can come of it. And then I used my stencil. This is the alphabet stencil I got from the dollar store. And I just wanted to see if I could use the stamping feature in my stencil. I used high because those are two letters right next to each other. And you can see it would be a very distressed look, but I kept going to add more of that black on there, and it turned out really cool. So I wanted to try using this stencil again, and one thing that I noticed that was a problem is I was using the same washi tape in between, and I was getting ink on the back side of the stencil as well. So I think I would have to use new washi tape each time or have a different method of covering up the letters around the one that I'm using besides washi tape. And also I'd have to clean off my stencil every time. So I know in the actual distress ink world, there's definitely different types of stencils and methods of putting the stencils on your thing. This is just what I had, and so this is what I was trying. It made a pretty messy look on my page because the ink was getting everywhere on the stencil. And I decided I just had to be okay with that. Later on, you'll see that I decided I wasn't okay with that, and I tried to kind of correct it, but you'll see that in a little bit. One thing I really liked about this is that I could make it as dark or as light as I wanted, depending on how much ink I used. So I could just get really little distressed, or I could keep going and make it a lot darker. So with this one, I decided to add a butterfly sticker. These are stickers that a YouTube subscriber sent to me, and you're supposed to color them, but I liked the black and white look for this one. I thought that was just a perfect page with no colors. Next, I wanted to see if I sprayed the words, what would happen, and it kind of gives this cool, messy, frayed look. So I decided to do a Taylor Swift quote on this one, and I sprayed the 2 words that I used with the stencil just to see what would happen with it, and I think it turned out really cool. It's definitely different from what I normally do, this kind of really messy, extra inky look, really imperfect. But that was kind of the whole point of getting these distress inks, that I was going to try something new, do something a little bit different, be bad at something, and feel okay about that. When I say I wanted to be bad at something, I'm not saying that I'm good at everything else. This was kind of a reminder that it's okay to be bad at things. I'm bad at a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that's wrong. That's something I really love about creativity, that you can explore in a safe space, make some mistakes, and learn a lot about yourself along the way. So here's where I decided that I wanted to try and cover up the extra ink that I didn't want there. So I used my white paint pen. This is Flycy. It's just a random paint pen from Amazon, and they work really well. It did do the job of covering it up, although you can see the white ink on my page, so it's kind of just as messy. When you look at it from a distance, you can't really tell, but when you see it up close, you're like, oh yeah, that's there. And then with my rainbow page, because it kind of looks like this cloudy sky in rainbows, I decided to add some stars with my white paint pen, and I really like how this turned out. It's such a simple page, but also there's a lot going on here, and it was just really fun, really different from what I normally do, and yet also kind of the same of what I normally do. Just a different method, I guess. I wanted to try out one more rainbow blend, this time spraying it when the blend was complete, and the spray is nice. It adds kind of even more splotches, but it didn't really do that much for me. So I don't know if it really needed it. And then I wrote the word rest, and I'm using my gold pen to add some shadows. And I just think these colors are so vibrant, and this was so much fun to explore a new type of creating. I'd love to know, have you tried distress inks? Are you like a pro with them? Or is it something that you want to try? Maybe something that you never want to try? Let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this reminder of just trying something new, and it's okay to be bad at whatever you're doing as long as you are enjoying it, and definitely keep creating no matter what. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time.